Top of the morning to all the beautiful listeners of Badeggi Radio, and thank you for always staying with your favorite frequency 90.1 FM Mina. Of course, on this we broadcast live from the uphill in the capital city of the power state, Mina, United States. Today is Saturday, the 14th day in the month of March year 2026. Yes, we are in the month of Ramadan Kareem to all the Muslims Ummah out there, and of course Lent to all Christians fellows out there. Studio time check is 7:07. I am Usman Apaya, welcoming you to this week's edition of Weekend Review of the National Dailies. This is the platform where we give you a rundown review of some of the captivating stories that trended over the week. And of course, in the course of the program, we give you opportunity to come in and make your voices heard on this platform based on any of the story that happened to be so catchy to you. We're starting this morning with a very interesting story. Finally, INEC announced government officials' political appointments who will be contesting for 2027 are to resign before the 26th of this month, which is March 2026. That is according to INEC. Very interesting here. Another very interesting story here. Middle East crisis. Petrol may hit 2,000 naira per litre. Marketers warn. The Petroleum Product Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Petron, has warned that the price of premium motor spirits petrol, popularly known as a petrol, could rise to nearly 2,000 naira per litre, while diesel may approach 3,000 naira per litre if the ongoing conflicts in the Middle East persist. The national president of Petron, Billy Gillis Harry, issued the warning while delivering keynote address titled Reconstruction Energy Trilma as the event organized by Ajuri University of Education in Port Harcourt. He said he cautioned that if this continues, it will increase in fuel price and it could worsen inflation, trigger job losses, and of course a deep economic hardship, and significantly rise transportation costs as well as the prices of goods and services nationwide. Another story which is related to this: we incur costs from 47 government agencies, says Dangote Refinery. David Barrett, Managing Director MD of the Dangote Refinery, says the refinery incurs costs from 47 government agencies, adding some forms of fees to the final pump price of the petrol in Nigeria, calling on the government to prioritize local refining at this time of extreme volatility and uncertainty in the crude oil market. The refinery MD said requested that the government should prioritize selling certain grades to the local refinery. Very beautiful. Yes, another very interesting caption here. Lawmakers, ADC to APC, charge or release El-Rufai. Legal practitioners and African Democratic Congress ADC have faulted the continued detention of former governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC. The former governor had been in the ICPC custody since the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, granted him bail on February 18, 2026. ICPC reportedly obtained 14 days remand order from the Magistrate Court in Buhari, Abuja on February 19, 2026, which expired on March 5, 2026. Following the expiration of the remand order, El-Rufai's lawyer, family and supporters have criticized his continued detention, describing it as unlawful act. Yes, this is very, very unfortunate. Another very interesting caption here: FAC shares. FAC, federal government, state and local government share 1.894 trillion naira revenue for February 2026. A total of 101.894 trillion naira, representing the federal government revenue for the February 2026, has been allocated to the federal, state, and local government council. This revenue was distributed during the March 2026 Federation Account Allocation Commission FACT meeting held in Abuja. This is very, very worse to take care of the situation on ground when it comes to payment of salary, settling debts, settling contractors, and of course carrying out some projects. If the governors are so prudent, I think this will cushion the effect of the hardship we are facing in the country. In a related one, this one is that whole state local government accountable. Tinubu tells media executive. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have urged media executive to extend the same level of scrutiny they apply to his administration to states and local government, which he argued now enjoy greater financial autonomy under his reform federalism. The president made the appeal on Friday night while hosting media practitioners and of course executive at the Aso Rock Villa in Abuja. Yes, I think this is a very good one. The president calling that the governor should be held accountable and chairman. But Mr. President, as you are making this, you will have to caution the governors, because we are in a terrible situation in this country today. Whenever you want to call for accountability, you become an enemy in the country. You see so many arrests, so many persecution by governors, and most importantly, attack on media, whose responsibility it is for them to hold public officers accountable. And of course, any attempt to do this, is being greeted by a lot of arrests and many other things. And the president is now calling that the media should hold not only him accountable, but of course, other government, local government, and of course the state governors should also be held responsible. Let's hear this clip from the president when he was questioning the media or asking the media to actually do the same thing they are doing to him, to the states, and of course local government. And like I said, it is not an easy thing when you ask the media to be held accountable. When you hold media to hold these leaders accountable, you all know what the governors used to do. Let's hear the president as he talks.
It is very, very daunting and very challenging when we took over. But today, I can say with pride and joy that we are surviving. No governor in this country, in any of your states, is now running around the bank to borrow money to pay salary of their workers. None.
I think for the benefit of emphasis, let's play this again.
Very challenging. When we took over. But today, I can say with pride and joy that we are surviving. No governor in this country, in any of your states, is now running around the bank to borrow money to pay salary of their workers.
Yes, that is how it appears to be. No governor is running to bank to take a loan before they can pay salary. But again, the Mr. President needs to understand that after the removal of subsidy, Nigerians were made to believe that this money will be turned around so that it will take care of a lot of things in the country. But as it is now, after the removal of subsidy, we are seeing a lot of things. Tax reform that is coming. More Nigerians are being taxed again, and of course, relatively Nigerians cannot see, actually project on ground to actually, take care of Nigerians after the removal of subsidy and many other things Today we have states who cannot pay pensioners, and I want to say that even Niger State here is not left out, because as it sounds today, pensioners are going to have a meeting today, send another message to the state government, despite the fact that the government of Niger State have always come to say that they have nothing, they have no anything outstanding for the pensioners, that what is there outstanding is an inherited problem. And the government is a continuous process. When you inherit a problem, you have to deal with it. So this is almost 2 years now, pensioners are still crying. So what other thing have you inherited that you cannot settle? This is a very big question. So the president said no governor is willing to bank to take debts. Well, I think when you go to the AMCOM, which is responsible of making sure that there is a record of governors or government that is indebted, we're going to find out whether governors are not willing to bank to take loans. The president have just said that, but many have actually doubted this statement. Well, that's all about that. Now let's take it to the Middle East. Ex-Arab Islamic countries condemn Israel's closure of Al-Aqsa Mosque. Qatar, Jordan, Indonesia, Turkey, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates have condemned Israel's continued closure of Al-Aqsa Mosque during the Muslim holy month of Ramadan for 12 consecutive days. In a statement published on Wednesday, the foreign minister of the 8 Arab Islamic countries said Israel's restriction on Palestinian access to the holy city of Jerusalem and its places of worship continue is a flagrant violation of international law, including international human rights law, the historical and legal status quo, and the principle of unrestricted access to the worship. Yes, I think this is a very, very bad for those who actually see the war in the Middle East as a war between Muslims and Christians, and of course they are actually being misunderstood, understanding the whole thing. We have said it severally on this platform, on this radio, that not only the Muslims are facing this persecution from the Israelis, even the Christians are having their own share of rejection from these people. So it's very unfortunate that Israel today is denying or closing down this very historic mosque for Muslims to have access to worship. This is unfortunate. Another very interesting one, Trump says Iran will end soon. Iran war will end soon. And anytime I want it end, it will end. That's according to U.S. President Donald Trump. Let's have little insight into that story. U.S. President Donald Trump said on Wednesday that the U.S. and Israel war against Iran will end soon because strikes have left practically nothing left to target in the country. That's according to Trump. I said little this and that. Anytime I want to end it, it will end. The president said during a brief telephone interview with outlet Axios. Well, many see this as Trump being bluffing because we all know the situation on ground. There is an unreported incident, or what is happening is kind of a misleading information that is coming from the Western media. They are not actually keeping the global world up to giving them real update of the happening. We all know that even though the Iranians are not out to defeat the United States of America militarily, but it is a war of attrition. The Iranians are trying to decapitate the feather of US in the Middle East, so that at the end of the day they will totally chase the US out of the Middle East, so that they can take full control of the region and of course liberalize the countries within the Middle East. This is what Iran is after, and of course from what is coming from Iran, it never shows that Iran is losing the war. Rather, many analysts across the globe have said that Iran is actually, winning the war. The war they have waited for over 20 years. Another very interesting one: Iran's wants ready for long war that will destroy world economic. Iran said on Wednesday it was ready for a long war of attrition that will destroy the world economic after firing on 2 commercial ships and threatening any vessel from the US or its allies. As Tehran threatened its chokeholds on the Strait of Hormuz, a vital sea passage of the global oil trade, US President Donald Trump said the war will end soon, as there will be little left for US forces to target in Iran. Well, this is, I must say, this is a lie from the pit of hell, because we all know what is happening. Unfortunately, the US is not the only people who have access to information. As it is now, the Iranians have even hacked the data system of the Israel, so that the hidden informations can be accessed by the global community. So everybody is now having the information. If you have the right channel, you have the right people, you will have the right information as they are unfolding in the Middle East. Another interesting one here: U.S. Marine move to Straits of Hormuz, escalating tension with Iran explains. Amidst rising geological tension, a United States Marine extraordinary unit of approximately 2,500 personnel is deploying towards the strategic Strait of Hormuz. This critical move includes advanced amphibious ships, specified aircraft, and armor equipment, signaling a heightened preparedness against a potential threat from Iran. The mission focuses on security, maritime traffic, and opening navigation lanes in the region. Exploring the implication of this development, the military assets involved, and the potential impact of global oil prices and Middle East stability. Discovering how elite commandos are preparing for high-stake scenario in the Persian Gulf. Well, like I said, the Iranians have actually threatened the United States of America, or dare them to come anywhere close to the Gulf of, the Strait of Hormuz. And here you are, Americans coming with this stuff of a concocted story, and they have dare you to come. And the two forces who actually dare to go, have paid the price. So Americans, like we said, are not actually telling the world the real story, the only concocted story that they think is palatable to them, and they think they can deceive the whole world, which is not true. Iranians, like we said, are really prepared to, face this battle. They've waited for it for over 20 years, and they prepare for it, and they've just thrown it last year around June, when they actually hit the almighty Tel Aviv. Beating the almighty Iron Dome and David's Sling. So it means that Iranians have actually, like I said, are prepared for this war, and they never appear to be so opportune in terms of facing the world. And one thing that's very surprising to the entire world is that Iranians are launching attack from their own soil. They are not using any base of their neighbor. They are launching attack from Tehran down to Israel. The attack on Tel Aviv, if you look at the miles now between Tehran and Tel Aviv is about 1,000 kilometers, and you'll be surprised that this attack is coming without using any base. It is the home of the soil of the Iranians that is being used to launch this attack. And of course, it's very, very unfortunate. The distance between Tehran and Tel Aviv is about 1,584 kilometers, and between Tehran to Jerusalem is 1,770 kilometers. And you are launching this attack directly, and unfortunately for the Israel and even the American that is shielding, that is giving them cover, none of this of their defense system could detect or stop this missile that is coming. The Fatah 2 is a game changer, that new generation missile that causing a lot of trouble in the Middle East, and of course giving the Israelis a headache before they could even raise siren or alarm or ask the residents to evacuate. The strike has already happened. So I think it's a challenge on this coming from this place. We have another very interesting story just before we take you to our sad story, which has to do with some issues we have here in the state. We have this very sad one that is coming. The son of former Niger State Subeb chairman crying out over his father's kidnap in Zone C. This almost 6 months after, more than 6 months after bandits have actually adopted him. Yet they said nothing is coming from the state, as if nothing has happened. So let's give you the voice of the son of the former Subeb chairman, who is crying out for after his father has been abducted by these kidnappers. And of course the state government, like I said, they have alleged, have not actually shows any sign that something is coming from the state that will give them the hope that after millions of naira that has been paid as ransom, nothing is coming out of it. Let's get to hear what the son of the Subeb chairman is saying.
My father has been kidnapped, and they called demanding for 300 million, which we pleaded. We were able to bargain, and they reduced it to 150 million, which still we couldn't afford the 150 million. But we took loans, we sold whatever we were able to sell, and with the help of our, the poor, the masses, they helped, they contributed. But whoever has 1 naira, 2 naira, he will bring, and we were able to raise up to 30 million naira. And the kidnappers, they asked us to bring it. That was when the kidnapping, when it was 1 month, when my dad was 1 month in their hand. They said we should bring the 30 million. We took the 30 million, they collected the 30 million and refused to release him. That is 150 million they want. Sometimes he will call that this is knife on his neck. They want to slaughter him if we don't bring the money. Sometimes when he's talking to us, we will be hearing the sound of them hitting him, to the extent sometimes he will have to shout. Sometimes I can't bear it, I will just end the call. So now it's 6 months, it's about 6 months, he's there. This is someone who is hypertensive, an elderly man, or someone who is above 70 with children and wife. My mother condition, she is very sick. What I'm pleading now is that, please, I'm pleading with the government, not only government, whoever, anyone, anywhere in this world who can assist us in whatever needs. All we want is to see our person back. My name is Alasan Saifullah Bawa. I am the son of Alasan, Alhaji Alasan Bawa, who was kidnapped on the 29th September 2025. That's last year, on his way to Mina along Ibi Zugruma Highway.
Well, this rather a very sad one coming from the son of the adopted former Subeb chairman, who is crying out that after his father has been abducted by bandits, after they've sold all they have to make sure they got him rescued, but the bandits keep demanding, and so much so that they have nothing left now, and everything is remaining quiet as if nothing is happening. Yes, this is a very big challenge to Niger State government. Yes, everybody's life is important. We have a lot of people in captivity, but this is a very, very sad one, since the family is now crying out to Niger State government and the government of the Federation. We hope and pray they will do something, because it's very, very, devastating story. It's a very, very devastating to the family, and of course, friends and relatives of the family. We hope and pray that with this, God in His infinite mercy, because it appears that the government has not given up and have left the people to their own fates. It's unfortunate. Now, this brings us to one of our star stories of the week. Niger government threatened to revoke FUT license campus CFO. That's according to the alumni. This very important story that has been trending. You recall that last week there was a fracas, and the management of the university and Niger State government have to meet at the Ministers of Information, Minister of Education office in Abuja. And it seems that the issue is now regurgitating again, and that is why we are bringing it, so that we can see the end of this. Let's give you a little insight to that story. Niger State Governor Mohammed Bago have threatened to revoke the certificate of occupancy of the Federal University of Technology, MENA, over a dispute concerning the institution's Boso campus. The governor reportedly made the threat on Thursday in Abuja during a meeting held in Education's Ministers' Conference room, where representatives of the university's governing council and the Niger State government met to resolve the dispute over the proposed handover of the Boso campus to the state government. The president of the Alumnus Association of the University, Professor Shola Solomon, disclosed this in a statement issued on Friday on the outcome of the meeting between the two parties. Now, we are now bringing this back because there is a growing issue. I think the threats are still continue, and it appears that students are ready to stage a protest if the Niger State government insisted on taking this land from this campus from the state government. It's so surprising a federal institution or a federal property will be under this type of serious threat from state government. The government of the state should be, encouraging the federal government to come and stage projects that would benefit the people. I could remember very vividly, it's not all the state in before now. It wasn't all the 36 states of the federation who are having federal universities. It was the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan who tried, tremendously to balance the equation by making sure that some of the states who are not having federal university were being given federal university, and now the equation is balanced. The only federal university the Niger State government is having is under threat now by the same state. So you begin to wonder what is actually, the state is standing to achieve by the time you are discouraging a federal establishment that have actually, brought a lot of development. Anybody who knows Voto campus, we, agree with the fact that that campus have tremendously helped in building that community. That Boso, I have its name, the Boso is experiencing the development is having now as a result of that institution that was being staged there. And from the records the university have presented to the minister and of course to the entire world is that contrary to what the governor said, that the land has been leased, it was actually not so, because the evidence the university have presented to the minister and every other person who cares to know is that the land was sold to the federal government at the rate of 2.8 million naira of that time. And at that time, like we have always said, the budget of Niger State was 30 million naira. So you can imagine the land you bought at the rate of 2.8 million naira as at that time, it doesn't appear to be a leasing. And of course, I think the governor, with all due respect, is being misinformed, because the governor is saying that the university was established during the reign of military president General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, which is in 1985. And from the record, the establishment of that university took place in 1983. So I think the governor is being misinformed. And again, another misinformation is that he said that the land was being leased. Even now, you have a lot of states who are actually giving land free to federal government to come and stage any federal project. So why is it that that time that the university is most needed, you have to go and lobby? The then governor Awal Ibrahim of blessed memory actually lobbied the university to Awal Ibrahim Shehu Shagai, who was the then civilian president, to have that university. So who is actually misleading the president, the governor of Niger State? The governor said one of the reasons of taking over the university is because the university is lying fallow. There are no people in the university. The FET have gotten its own permanent site, and that place is laying fallow. Coincidentally, yesterday we actually have to go and observe Friday prayers in the university, and that university, we myself, my MD, and Sani Abdullah, we actually went so that Sani Abdullah being an alumni of this university actually took us around. We never see any structure that's lying fallow. Even, in fact, they even need additional structure because of the activities in the campus. So the mosque there is functioning. The person that who led the prayers in the Friday mosque yesterday was Professor Dr. Yonkuzo, who is a lecturer in the university. So I don't know, and a lot of activities are still going on in the university. So I think the governor is being misled. What we saw yesterday, it never what we heard from the government of Niger State, of the governor, who said the university is lying fallow. So like I said the last time, I still want to advise the former governor. This is Niger State. Coincidentally, the vice chancellor is from Niger State. And of course, he understands the benefit of having university, not federal. If you can have more university in the state, I think it will help in decongesting the FUT, who is having many Nigerians have been applying, or many people coming to apply, and very few could get admission. So by the time you have another campuses or another university, it's going to be a plus to the state, so that many people could be enrolled. But you can't do that. You can't bully a professor who goes to the rank of VC to ask him to just give you hand over a federal property that is being entrusted in him for the next 5 years, that he have to leave the office. What will he tell? Today, if Professor, a respected professor, talking about the pioneer Professor Jonathan Usman Dailies, did not put his foot on ground to make sure the university, as a pioneer VC and a Nigerite, the university stands still, history will have never been so fair with Professor Jonathan Usman Dailies. And even him himself, he has laid his voice on this issue. Being the pioneer VC of the university, have actually said that this is a property that was being acquired, not leased. It was being bought from Niger State government. And we went to even see that missionary school that was there. It's just a kind of block of a class, and of course hostel. Going to the university, there is a lot of expansion, a lot of structure. The university have used this money to buy land from the community there, so that the university could be expanded, and it has so expanded. So if you want to claim, I think you should be claiming your own portion, not the one that the university has used its own money to build over there. So we want to use this medium to call on Niger State governor to actually revisit the issue. This threats of cutting the light of the university, the campus, and that of Gideon Kwanu, seizing its CFO, will not augur well, and the rest of the world are watching and laughing at us. It's very unfortunate. Well, another very interesting story we have is the issue of the MRI machine the former governor have launched at IBB, a specialized hospital, Mina. Yes, the former governor said they are going to commission the one of the world-class health facility. And from the information reaching us is that that machine is whether it's a world-class, well, is it a first-class machine? Because from what we have gathered, it is a machine that was being auctioned by the custom. So how reliable is that machine? This is one thing that remains a question that is begging for an answer as far as that world-class machine is concerned. So we don't know. And of course, this is a government where the government official hardly provide you an opportunity to have information. as a media, you have to go deep down to get your information. The Freedom of Information Act does not have, any effect in Niger State, I must say, without due respect, because we have actually made several attempts to get some government official to talk to us or to give us information, freely, so that it could be disseminated to the general public. Government is not a cult. Government is for the people, and nothing is so secrecy, even though there's confidentiality in government. But again, some information are meant for the public. Give us more information about the MRS, and of course whatever it is there, you couldn't have, so you have to go deep down. A lot of happening in the state is so unfortunate. So I think we will continue to find out more about that MRS machine, because it is a machine that you cannot take for granted. Do you have doctors, specialists, enough on ground who will actually man that machine? Is the machine so a world class one? Is it a first class machine that can actually take care of that very important health examination? That's one big question that is begging for an answer. Now, finally, before we let the cat off, before we let you come into the program, let's give you one report that is very important. The happening in the Middle East is so important to all of us, because many people think it is happening in the Middle East, it doesn't concern us. And here you are, go to the filling station, you will know that if the happening in the Middle East really concerns you or not, you will get to find out. So on this, based on this, we want to bring you an update or analysis of the happening, so that you get to find out what is the real reason of the happenings in the Middle East, so that you understand the sagacity there, so that you could prepare well. We have this one coming from Professor Jiang, one of the professor who actually examine, study, dissect, and of course analyze the happening in the Middle East, so that the global world will understand the happening, so that whenever they want to come into it, they know what is happening. Let's get to hear from him.
America wants, but the people in those countries. Most Muslim countries, Sunni countries, are run by dictators, kings, military leaders, strongmen, and most of these dictators stay in power because America supports them. America gives them weapons, money, and protection. In return, these leaders do whatever America wants. But the people in those countries, they hate their governments. They feel crushed, ignored, oppressed. Iran's plan is to channel that anger, help the people rise up, overthrow the American-backed dictators, and when the dust settles, Iran becomes the leader, not just of the Shia world, but of the entire Muslim world. This dream has a name. It is called Pax Islamica. Think of it like an Islamic golden age where the Muslim world is united under one vision, free from American control. If that happens, America loses its grip on the Middle East forever. Keep it simple, checkpoint. Iran wants to unite Muslims worldwide. First the Shia, then everyone. Overthrow American-backed dictators. Create a united Islamic world. If it works, America loses the Middle East permanently. All right, here it is, the big one, the main plan. Everything we talked about, the drones, the water, the religious uprising, it all leads to this one goal: destroy the GCC. GCC stands for Gulf Cooperation Council. It is basically the club of rich Gulf countries: Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, and Oman. Now, why is the GCC so important? Because the GCC is the engine that keeps America's economy running. And most people have absolutely no idea. Here is how it works. I will make it super simple. Step one, GCC countries sell oil to the world. They sell it for US dollars, not euros, not yen, US dollars. This is a big deal because it means everyone in the world needs US dollars to buy oil. That keeps the dollar strong and powerful. Step two, once the GCC countries get all these US dollars, what do they do with the money? They invest it. And where do they invest it? In the American stock market. The stock market is like America's giant piggy bank. It is where companies like Apple, Google, Nvidia, and Microsoft are valued. When people invest money into these companies, the companies grow. The piggy bank gets fatter. America gets richer. Since 2012, the amount of money flowing from GCC countries into the American stock market has been exploding. Billions and billions of dollars pouring in every year. In fact, there are about 7 companies in America, mostly tech and AI companies like NVIDIA, Apple, Google, and Microsoft, that account for about a quarter of the stock market's growth. A quarter. Just 7 companies. And guess who is heavily invested in those 7 companies? You guessed it. The GCC countries. Now here's where Iran's plan becomes clear. What if Iran destroys the GCC? Not with soldiers, not with tanks, with drones, with water attacks, with chaos. If the GCC countries are under attack, they stop selling oil smoothly. The oil supply gets disrupted. They no longer have rivers of US dollars coming in. Whatever money they do have, they have to spend on protecting themselves, buying weapons, rebuilding, surviving. That means they stop investing in the American stock market. The money stops flowing into the piggy bank, and when the money stops flowing, the stock market crashes. Those 7 big companies, their value drops, investors panic, everyone starts pulling their money out, and when the stock market crashes, the entire American economy crashes with it. Think about it like this. Imagine a cricket team that has 7 superstar players. Fans only come to the games because of those 7 players. Sponsors only pay because of those 7 players. TV deals only exist because of those 7 players. Now imagine all 7 players quit at the same time. Fans leave, sponsors leave, TV deals collapse, the whole league falls apart. That is what happens if the GCC money stops flowing into America. Iran does not need to send a single soldier to American soil. It does not need to fire a single missile at New York or Washington. All it needs to do is break the chain, break the GCC, break the oil flow, break the dollar flow, break the stock market, break America's wallet. Keep it simple checkpoint. GCC countries sell oil for dollars and invest those dollars in American companies. If Iran destroys the GCC, the money stops. The stock market crashes. America's economy collapses. Iran's real target is not soldiers. It is the wallet. Now you might be thinking, okay, but would the rest of the world just sit and watch? No, not at all. See, Europe stopped buying oil and gas from Russia because of the Ukraine war. So where does Europe get its energy now? From the GCC, from Saudi Arabia, from the Gulf. If the GCC falls, Europe has no energy. Factories shut down, lights go off, economies collapse. So Europe has to join this fight on America's side. They have no choice. Their survival depends on it. What about Russia? Russia cannot allow Iran to fall, because if America and Israel successfully destroy Iran, guess who is next on the list? Russia. So Russia backs Iran, not because they are best friends, but because it is about survival. And China is playing it cool, staying neutral, watching from the sidelines. The Chinese system is set up in a way where they are okay with either outcome. Whoever wins, China will do business with them. So this is not just a Middle East problem. This Middle East conflict and the Ukraine war, they are connected. 2 different chessboards, but the same game, the same players, the same stakes, energy, water, money, power. That is what this is all about. All right, let us take a breath. Let us zoom out and look at the whole picture. On one side, you have America and Israel. Their plan, break Iran into pieces, dry up their water, turn their people against each other, keep the GCC safe, keep the money flowing, stay on top. On the other side, you have Iran. Their plan, use cheap drones to drain America's wallet, destroy GCC infrastructure, unite the Muslim world, cut off the money pipeline, crash the stock market, bring America to its knees without ever setting foot on American soil. 2 plans, 2 visions, completely opposite. And the wild part, both plans are already in motion right now. As you read this, this is not a movie, there is no script, there is no guaranteed happy ending. The ending has not been written yet, and the outcome will not just affect Iran or America, it will affect every single country on this planet, your country, your city, your life, energy prices, food prices, job markets, everything is connected. So stay informed, stay curious, ask questions, do not just read headlines, understand the why behind the news. Because in a world this complicated, the most powerful weapon you can have is not a drone or a missile. It is understanding. Thanks for sticking with me through this one.
So, This is Professor Jang for you, saying that you should ask questions. Do not always believe in the stories you read on the cover of the papers. Most importantly, the ones coming from the Western media. They actually peddling stories that is so palatable to American and of course the Israel, but you need analysts who will study, dissect, and of course give you an in-depth analysis of the happening. We all know what this is all about, and if you're sitting somewhere around the world, you feel it's not, it doesn't concern you. This is a war on global economic. It's a survival of the fittest. It's a economic supremacy, and of course, everybody is trying to see how he can decapitate the feather of his, opponent. And of course, you should be thinking, where do I belong? You should begin to prepare now that the issue of oil is not affecting us directly now in the country. Go to the filling station, you get to find out, like I said before, whether the war in the Middle East affect you or not. When you go to the pump price, you get to find out. So we are all together into it. So we hope and pray that Nigerian government will begin to think and prepare. Most importantly, as the Trump, U.S. President Donald Trump has actually put his boot on Nigeria, so that by the time he's able, all his feathers in the Middle East has been decapitated, Nigeria and Venezuela is going to be, the second option for him, for the United States to come and actually loot our resources so that they can rebuild their losses. And of course, you know what it means. So definitely, Trump will not be watching this forthcoming election without interest, because they will want to instill whosoever will dance to their tune. The same way they've done in Saudi Arabia, in Kuwait, in most of these Middle East countries, where they actually make sure that their cronies are in the position. And of course, you can hear the petrodollar that Iran is trying to break. Is disturbing America. And like I said, Africa is going to be the safe haven, and Nigeria, to be precise, is going to be the centerpiece for an American looting of economy. So at this point in time, we want to open the phone line to give opportunity to call in and make your own comment and contribution based on any of the story that appears to be so catchy to you this bright and promising Saturday morning. The number to call is 091 38579001. And just before then, I think let's take a Facebook message here. We have some messages that appear on the Facebook that requires to be read out to you. Let's take some Facebook messages just before we pick any of the story, your calls here. We have this one coming from Shuaibu Tanko. He said, okay, so good morning, Sheikh Apaya. I'm not a sheikh. I need your assistance. I need to enter. I need the entire 2027 Ramadan sermon by. Well, I think that one has to be later. I will get your number. This one is coming from Ibrahim Saleh. He said, if anyone can present a forged document certificate to INEC, and the electoral law says it will lead to a cancellation of the election result, then why should kids go to school when they can forge certificates? Our leaders really forge that power. Power is transcendent. Umar Dan Azumi is coming with his own. He said, in Nigeria, everyone is now an online vendor. People are either selling clothes, cars, food, as house agent and televangelist. Everyone is selling something. It is evidence the economic is not working. It hasn't worked for a long time. Yes, the governor borrowed to pay salary, but what is the state of the economy? Why are we taxing and milking the already impoverished? Why are the governors borrowing? Why very huge borrowing? Why are they taking and milking the already impoverished? Why are the governors borrowing very huge without meaningful project? I don't have that answer, Umar Dan Azmi. I think the governors should be able to respond to you. Another one coming from Master Jerry said, good morning, Badeggi Radio family. Thank you very much. Master Jerry is saying, I am watching you live from Lagos. Thank you very much for that. Umar Hazmi is coming back with another one. Said, in a country where everyone is hustling to survive, members, remember, our vote is also our product. Protect it. Stands. Okay, your vote is your product. Protect it. Stand together. The polling units appetite costs more than a failure ever. Thank you very much, Umar Azmi. 09138579001 is the number to call and join the conversation. We are okay. I know your calls should be coming in. Sorry. Hello. Good morning.
That's this with you.
Thank you very much.
My name is Comrade Ahmed. I'm calling from 123 quarters.
Thank you, Comrade Ahmed.
Usman Afaya, I just have interest in this FUT saga. Where the former governor is interested in replicating the Boso campus. And I don't know where he got his information from, where he said the project, the Boso campus is lying fallow. Usman Afaya, don't forget the FUT staff school, where the nursery and primary schools is also within that vicinity. You can go into the Senate building, just the way you said, you perform your private prayer there and go around. You can see the building is very, very active. So I don't know where he was fed with this tribal that the place is lying fallow. By the way, Nigeria State has the largest land. I think the former governor ought to have check around and leave FUT alone so that they can have their academic activities going on. Then lastly, I think this issue of our former Subeb chairman who was kidnapped and the son came out on the media complaining. I think it's high time the former governor look at the issue and other people who doesn't have, who have no voice to also see how they can be rescued. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Comrade, for that. That one 09138579001 is number to call. Let's pick last call because of time. Hello.
Good morning, Usman Apaya.
Good morning.
My name is Ambassador Jebu the Challenger. I'm calling you from Tidum, Fulani City.
Very quickly.
Usman Apaya, this issue of giving chairmen, local government chairmen autonomy is a very sympathetic issue and it's also worrisome. If you remember, the president said they should give it to them. Where is the implementation?
I'm afraid we'll have to end it here because of our time, but I cannot end it without... I'm ending with a very brighter note. Let's hear this message. I'm ending with these two messages. Let's hear the first one coming here.
Ga sako daga kungiyar masoyan ci gaban jihar Niger. Maganin kukan zuci da idon zuci da kuma da na sani ƙeya ne. Ya ƴan uwa ma'abota hankali, tunani da mutunci da hangen nesa. In za ku yi kuka, ku yi a wurin da za a share muku hawaye. Kuma in za ku yi magana, ku yi a inda za a saurare ku. In ku za ku yi mu'amala, to ku yi da mai gaskiya, mutunci, kamala da muhibba, masanin ilimi da siyasa, ma'abocin addini da kyautatawa. Dr. MK jarumi jajirtacce, muna kiranka da ka yunkuro ka shigo fage don ceton al'umman jihar Niger. Ya mai capacity, ilimi, haƙuri da zumunci, dan baiwa mutumin kirki. Wannan sako ne daga ƙungiyar masoyan ci gaban jihar Niger.
Yes, this is where we shall be drawing the curtains for today on this program. We sincerely like to thank our listener for taking your time to listen to this program as always. And from me to you is goodbye. Have a good day ahead.